they found out about it.
Rich believed something darker.
Something evil's in here. Oh, God.
LAPD, we are making entry.
This wasn't just another patrol. This was a trap already set in motion. Every call, every move, every decision, it was all leading somewhere dark. They thought they were in control of the streets, but the streets were controlling them. And by the time they realized the truth, it was already too late. One moment changed everything. And someone was about to pay the price for a game they didn't even know they were playing. The night begins with a strange kind of silence, the kind that doesn't feel peaceful but heavy, like something is about to break. The officers move through their routine patrols, but there's an unspoken tension in the air that no one can ignore. It's not something they can point to directly, but it's there, building slowly with every passing minute. The first few calls come in like any other night, small incidents that seem manageable, but there's something unusual about the timing. Each call feels too perfectly placed, too close together, almost as if someone is carefully guiding their movements from behind the scenes. At first, no one questions it. They rely on their training, their instincts, doing what they've always done. But as they respond to more situations, small inconsistencies begin to appear. Information from Mamo Dispatch doesn't fully match what they see on the ground. Locations feel off, details don't line up, and the usual clarity they depend on starts to fade. It creates a quiet confusion, a subtle hesitation that begins to affect their decisions. And on the streets, hesitation is dangerous. The pressure to build slowly but steadily. Each officer starts to feel it in their own way. The confidence they usually carry begins to crack, replaced by a growing sense of doubt. They start second-guessing what they hear, what they see, even what they believe. It's not fear yet, but it's getting close. The kind of feeling that tells you something is wrong, but you don't know what. As the night continues, the situations begin to escalate. What should have been simple calls turn complicated. What should have been controlled situations start slipping out of their hands. The streets feel different now, less predictable, more hostile. Every corner holds uncertainty. Every decision feels heavier than the last. And with every passing moment, it becomes harder to ignore the truth that something bigger is happening. Then comes the moment when the pattern starts to reveal itself. It's not obvious at first, but once it clicks, it changes everything. The timing of the calls, the way the situations unfold, the way the officers are being moved from one place to another, it all starts to connect. This isn't random. This isn't just a bad night. This is planned, carefully planned. And that realization hits hard. Because if someone is controlling this cast, then every move they make is being watched, predicted, maybe even manipulated. The streets are no longer just dangerous. They're a game where the rules are unknown and the stakes are higher than ever. Now, it's no longer just about doing their job. It's about surviving something they don't fully understand. And as that truth begins to settle in, one question starts to echo in their minds. If this is all planned, then what is the end game? The realization doesn't just stay in their minds, it starts affecting every move they make. Once the idea of a setup takes hold, nothing feels normal anymore. Every call is now suspicious, every instruction feels questionable. The team tries to stay focused, but the pressure is no longer just coming from the streets. It's coming from inside their own heads. Trust begins to weaken, not just in the system, but in each other, and that's where things start to get dangerous. As they respond to the next wave of incidents, the pattern becomes even clearer. The calls are not only connected, they are escalating. Each situation is more intense than the last, pushing them further out of their comfort zone. It feels like they are being tested, like someone is watching how they react under pressure. Every delay, every mistake, every hesitation, it all seems to trigger something worse. It's no longer about random chaos, it's controlled chaos. Communication begins to break down at the worst possible time. Messages come in late, some are unclear, and others seem completely misleading. Officers arrive expecting one situation and walk into something entirely different. This creates confusion, and confusion leads to split-second decisions that carry serious consequences. The team tries to adapt, trying to outthink whatever is happening, but the deeper they go, the more it feels like they're already steps behind. The emotional weight starts hitting harder now. You can feel the frustration building, the tension rising between team members. Voices get sharper, reactions get quicker, and patience begins to fade. These are officers trained to handle pressure, but this is different. This isn't just about danger. It's about uncertainty, and uncertainty makes even the strongest minds start to crack. They begin questioning not just the situation, but their own judgment. Then comes a turning point, a moment where things spiral faster than anyone expected. A call comes in that feels urgent, critical, impossible to ignore. It pulls the team into a situation that immediately feels wrong. The setup is too perfect, the timing too precise. It's like walking straight into a trap they can't avoid. And once they're in, there's no easy way out. Everything starts moving faster now. Decisions have to be made in seconds, and there's no room for error. The team splits, trying to cover more ground, trying to regain control. But instead of solving the problem, it only makes things more complicated. Being separated makes them vulnerable, and that vulnerability is exactly what whoever's behind this wants. The pressure reaches a level where even breathing feels heavy. And in the middle of all this chaos, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. They are not in control anymore. Every move they make feels like it's being anticipated. Every step forward feels like it's leading them deeper into something they don't fully understand. The streets have turned into a battlefield, and they are fighting a battle without knowing who the enemy really is. Now the fear begins to settle in. Not loud, not obvious, but deep and real. Because when you don't know who you're up against, every shadow starts to feel like a threat. And as the night keeps unfolding, it becomes clear that this isn't just leading to danger. It's leading to something far worse. Something that will hit them when they least expect it. By now, the night has completely shifted from control to survival. What started as confusion has turned into a full-blown crisis. Every officer feels it. The pressure, the fear, the sense that they are being pushed exactly where someone wants them to go. There's no more doubt left. This is not random. This is a game, and they are already deep inside it. The team tries to regroup, trying to rebuild some kind of control, but the damage is already done. Being split apart has created gaps, and those gaps are being used against them. Communication is still unstable, and every attempt to coordinate feels slower than it should be. It's like they are chasing something they can't catch, always arriving just a step too late. And with every delay, the situation grows more dangerous. Then the situation takes another sharp turn. A new development hits them, unexpected and deeply unsettling. It's not just another incident. It's something personal, something that cuts through their focus and hits them emotionally. This changes everything, because when things become personal, decisions stop being just tactical. They become emotional. And emotional decisions in a situation like this can be the most dangerous of all. You can feel the shift instantly. The calm, controlled mindset they rely on begins to fade. Urgency takes over. The need to act fast, to fix things, to protect each other, it all starts to override logic. And that's exactly what whoever's behind this wants, because when emotions take control, mistakes follow. The pace becomes intense, almost overwhelming. Every second feels like it matters more than the last. The team pushes forward, trying to break the pattern, trying to take back control, but every move they make seems to trigger something bigger. It's like the situation is reacting to them, adjusting to stay one step ahead. And that realization is terrifying. Because it means they are not just reacting to danger. They are feeding it. Then comes the moment that truly shakes them. A situation unfolds so quickly, so unexpectedly, that there's no time to prepare. 1 second everything is moving fast, and in the next everything stops. A single moment freezes the chaos. And in that silence, the reality of what just happened begins to sink in. It's the kind of moment that changes everything. The kind that stays with you long after it's over. The team feels it instantly. The weight, the shock, the realization that this is bigger than they thought. This is no longer just about making it through the night. This is about facing the consequences of a game they didn't even know they were part of. And as that moment settles in, one truth becomes painfully clear. Whoever is behind this isn't just creating chaos. They are targeting them. Every move, every decision, every mistake, it's all part of a bigger plan. And now, they're exactly where that plan wanted them to be. The fear is no longer quiet now. It's real, it's present, and it's pushing them towards something even more dangerous. Because if this was only the beginning, then what comes next is going to be far worse. After that moment, nothing feels the same. The energy shifts completely, heavier, darker, more intense than anything they've faced before. What just happened isn't something they can shake off. It sits with them, affecting every thought, every decision. The mission is no longer just about control or survival. It's about understanding why this is happening before it destroys them completely. The team tries to pull themselves together, but the emotional impact is too strong to ignore. There's silence where there used to be constant communication. You can feel the weight of guilt, the questions forming in their minds. Could this have been avoided? Did they miss something earlier? Every decision they made throughout the night starts replaying in their heads, and with each thought the pressure grows even heavier. But the streets don't stop, the chaos continues, and now it feels even more aggressive, like it's feeding off their weakness. Another situation begins to unfold, faster and more dangerous than before. This time, it's not just confusing, it's direct, it's targeted. The kind of situation that forces them to act immediately no matter the risk. And deep down, they know this is leading to something final. They push forward, trying to stay focused, but the fear is no longer hidden. It's there in their movements, in their voices, in the way they react. Every shadow feels like a threat. Every sound feels like a warning. The streets have completely turned against them. What used to feel familiar now feels like a trap waiting to close. And then the truth starts to surface. Small pieces begin to connect, details that didn't make sense before now forming a clear picture. The pattern, the timing, the escalation, it all points to one thing. This was never random chaos. This was personal. Someone designed this night to break them, to push them to their limits, to see how far they would go before they collapse. That realization hits harder than anything else, because it means they were chosen. Every move they made wasn't just observed. It was expected. Every reaction was part of the plan. And now they are standing at the center of something much bigger than they imagined. The situation reaches its peak as everything starts closing in at once. The pressure, the danger, the emotional weight, it all collides in a one final stretch where there's no room left for mistakes. Every decision now feels like it carries life or death consequences. There's no time left to question, no time left to hesitate. And in that final build-up, one thing becomes clear. This is the moment everything has been leading to. The trap is fully set, the players are exactly where they were meant to be, and whatever happens next will change everything forever.